Have you ever thought about the sacrifices that you would be prepared to make for your spouse in order to nurture a more resilient, fulfilling relationship? It's a profound question that prompts reflection and deep consideration. Sacrifice in relationships is a topic that is often overlooked, but it plays a crucial role in nurturing a strong and healthy connection with each other. It's not always about grand gestures, but rather the small, everyday sacrifices that can make a big difference. Keep watching as we delve into this challenging topic.
You're teaching me with my imperfections,
While at a doctor's appointment, I
reaching
picked up an old magazine
me
in the waiting room
when
and read an
I'm
article
running
about the
the
famous
other
actor Hugh Jackman and his wife,
direction. I'm
Deborah Lee Furness.
wondering
In the early
what
2000s, they
kind
faced
of
significant challenges in
love
their
can
relationship, and
be
after years of trying to have children and experiencing several miscarriages, they decided to adopt. This decision was not easy and pushed them out of their comfort zones, and it required them to navigate the complex and emotional process of adoption. Despite the emotional and physical toll, they remained united and supportive of each other. And Hugh often spoke about this journey, told it about it, and it tested their communication and trust. They had to be open about their feelings, their fears, their hopes, and to support each other through the ups and downs. And their perseverance paid off. Hugh often spoke about how this journey tested their communication and trust. They had to be open about their feelings, their fears, and their hopes, and support each other through the ups and the downs. Their perseverance paid off, and they successfully adopted two children, Oscar and Ava. Hugh and Deborah Lee's relationship grew more robust due to facing this challenge together. Their story shows how overcoming significant obstacles and making sacrifices can reinforce a connection and lead to a deeper, more resilient relationship. Let's face it, relationships come with their fair share of challenges, from communication breakdowns to trust issues, and there are many obstacles that can test the strength of the bond you have in your marriage. Sometimes overcoming these challenges requires us to make sacrifices that push us out of our comfort zone. So, what kind of sacrifices are we talking about here? It could be as simple as putting aside your own needs to prioritize your spouse's happiness, or as complex as giving up specific personal goals for the sake of the relationship. Making time for each other amid busy schedules or compromising on important decisions are common sacrifices that can strengthen the bond of your marriage. So, how do we make these sacrifices? First, putting aside your own needs. When you put aside your needs in a relationship, it means you're valuing your spouse's happiness and well being above your immediate desires. And the Bible teaches us to be selfless and considerate, fostering a loving and supportive environment. The selflessness can manifest in many ways, such as actively listening to your partner's concerns, making compromises to accommodate their preferences, or even sacrificing your comfort to ensure they feel valued and loved. When both spouses do this, it prioritizes each other's happiness and it creates a cycle of mutual respect and affection, therefore strengthening their bond. Philippians 2, verses 3 and 4 says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of the others." See, this verse emphasizes humility and selflessness, and it encourages us to place our spouse's needs on the same level or even above our own. It teaches us to act out of love rather than selflessness, and that fosters a relationship that's grounded in mutual care and respect. The next thing we look at is giving up personal goals. When we make the sacrifice and give up personal goals for the sake of the relationship, sometimes it means putting your ambitions or desires on hold to support your partner or the relationship's overall well being. This doesn't mean abandoning your dreams, but being flexible and willing to adjust. For example, you might delay pursuing a career opportunity to support your partner during a challenging time or move to a new location for their job. And the Bible reminds us that love often requires sacrifice, and true love involves the willingness to put the relationship above personal gain. John 15:13 says, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." This verse highlights the ultimate act of love and sacrifice. And while not all sacrifices are as extreme as laying down one's life, the principle applies to everyday decisions in a relationship. Sacrificing personal goals for your spouse's benefit or the relationship's health exemplifies this deep, selfless love. The third thing is making time for each other. When you make time for each other in a relationship, it's about prioritizing quality time together. And that's despite your busy schedules and your numerous responsibilities. It involves intentional actions like scheduling a regular date night, setting aside time for meaningful conversations, and being present and attentive when you're together. See, the Bible underscores the importance of being devoted to one another in love, which means consistently showing up for your spouse, valuing their company, and nurturing the relationship through shared experiences and dedicated time. Romans 12:10 says, "Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves." And this verse calls for the devotion and honoring each other, which can practically be applied by making time for your spouse. It's about showing your commitment through actions, valuing your spouse enough to carve out time in your busy life to be with them, thus strengthening the emotional and spiritual connection that you share with them. By embracing these biblical principles, putting aside your own needs, giving up personal goals, and making time for each other, you can build a relationship that is strong, loving, and deeply rooted in mutual respect and sacrifice. These practices help create a bond that can withstand the challenges of life, fostering a nurturing and resilient partnership. I have a story I'll share with you. I knew a married couple who found themselves separated by long distance because of their work obligations when they were new in their career. And despite the miles between them, they prioritized spending every weekend together. They made every effort to travel back and forth just to be in each other's presence. And that unwavering commitment and willingness to make sacrifices for their relationship not only kept their love burning bright, but it also forged an even deeper connection that surpassed their wildest expectation. In summary, making sacrifices for a relationship is not always easy, but the rewards are priceless. It leads to increased trust, a deeper emotional connection, and long-lasting happiness. To prioritize the well-being of your relationship over individual wants can make a difference in the long run. I'd love to hear from you about some of the sacrifices that you've made in your relationship. Remember, sometimes sacrificing a little can lead to gaining a lot in return. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I think that you would really enjoy this one.